One night, a man returned home furious. He had been humiliated in front of other people, mocked, provoked, pushed to react, and for a few seconds, he almost lost control. His chest burned, his hands trembled, his mind screamed at him to answer back. He wanted to defend himself. He wanted to prove he was right. He wanted to destroy the person who hurt him with words. But then, he did something unexpected. He remained silent. Not because he was weak, not because he had nothing to say, but because he understood something most people never learn. Not every battle deserves your energy. That night, he did not argue. He did not shout. He did not react. He simply observed, breathed deeply, and walked away. Days later, the truth revealed itself naturally, and while others lost their peace reacting emotionally, he kept something much more valuable: control over himself. That is the Stoic art of silence. And in a world where everyone reacts instantly, where people argue over everything, where emotions control entire lives, the person who masters silence masters the mind itself. In this video, you will discover why the Stoics considered silence one of the highest forms of power, how silence protects your peace, why emotionally intelligent people react less, and why learning when not to respond can completely transform your life. Take a deep breath, slow your mind down, and let's begin. 1. Silence prevents unnecessary wars. Most modern conflicts do not begin because of major problems. They begin because someone could not stay quiet for a few seconds. One impulsive message, one emotional reaction, one sentence spoken in anger, and suddenly, relationships are damaged. Peace disappears. Regret begins. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." The Stoics understood something powerful. Every reaction has a cost. Think about a couple arguing late at night. One hurtful comment leads to another, then another, then another. And after a few minutes, 2 people who love each other become enemies. Not because the problem was impossible to solve, but because nobody paused long enough to stop the emotional fire. Now imagine something different. One person breathes deeply, remains silent, refuses to react impulsively. Immediately, the emotional energy changes, because silence interrupts chaos. The Stoics knew that reacting emotionally is not always strength. Very often, it is weakness disguised as power. Anyone can yell. Anyone can lose control. Anyone can speak without thinking. But remaining calm when emotions are burning inside you, that requires mastery. 2. Silence creates clarity. Most bad decisions happen in emotional moments. Anger, fear, pride, jealousy, desperation. The Stoics believed emotions should be observed, not obeyed blindly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to become like your enemy." That requires silence, because when someone hurts you, your instinct is to react immediately, to defend yourself, to attack back, to prove something. But silence creates space, and inside that space, clarity appears. Think about someone receiving criticism at work. They can react emotionally, become defensive, and make the situation worse. Or they can pause, listen, think calmly, and respond intelligently. Silence is not emptiness. It is awareness. It is the moment where your mind stops being controlled by emotion and starts becoming conscious again. Most people react first and think later. Stoics did the opposite, and that changed everything. 3. Powerful people do not need to prove themselves constantly. One of the clearest signs of insecurity is the constant need to explain yourself, to defend yourself, to prove your worth, to win every argument. But the Stoics understood something deeply liberating. The people who truly know their value rarely need to announce it. Seneca wrote, "The wise man is content with himself." That changes the way you move through life, because you stop seeking validation from everyone around you. Think about someone who is truly confident. They do not argue over every opinion. They do not react to every insult. They do not desperately try to dominate every conversation. Why? Because their peace matters more than their ego. Meanwhile, insecure people react to everything. They need to be right. They need to win. They need to feel superior. But the truly powerful person often remains calm and silent, not because they cannot respond, but because they understand something most people never do. Not every opinion deserves access to your energy. 4. Silence reveals people's true nature. There is something fascinating that happens when you stop reacting emotionally. People begin revealing who they truly are. When someone tries to provoke you and fails, their mask slowly falls apart. Because many people are not searching for truth. They are searching for control. They want emotional power over you. They want to disturb your peace. And when they cannot, they become exposed. Marcus Aurelius said, "You always own the option of having no opinion." That is powerful, because the moment you stop reacting to everything, you stop giving people control over your emotional state. Think about a manipulative person. If you react emotionally, they gain power. But if you remain calm, silent, stable, eventually their behavior reveals itself naturally. This is why silence can feel uncomfortable to other people, because silence forces truth to surface. And many times, silence says far more than words ever could. 5. Silence protects your peace of mind. Modern life is full of noise, constant opinions, social media, arguments, news, drama, endless emotional stimulation. And most people are mentally exhausted without realizing why. Because they react to everything, every comment, every criticism, every provocation, every negative emotion. But the Stoics understood that mental energy is limited, and because of that, they became extremely careful about what they allowed into their minds. Epictetus said, "If someone speaks badly of you, live in such a way that nobody believes them." That is inner peace, not obsessing over defending your image constantly, not destroying your peace, trying to control what everyone thinks. Think about how much suffering comes from unnecessary responses, responding to hateful comments, responding to toxic people, responding to provocation, responding while emotional. Sometimes, the greatest peace comes from choosing not to answer at all. And that is not weakness, that is emotional maturity. 6. Silence is inner power. Most people associate power with controlling others, but Stoics believe true power is self-control. Control over emotions, control over impulses, control over reactions. Because anyone can become angry, anyone can explode emotionally. But remaining calm while everything inside you wants to react, that is strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." The Stoic art of silence comes from protecting those thoughts, not allowing chaos to dominate your inner world. Silence is not coldness. It is not indifference. It is not weakness. It is conscious restraint. It is choosing peace when the world expects chaos. It is maintaining dignity when everyone else loses control. And maybe that is why silence feels so powerful. Because a truly calm person carries a presence that cannot be faked. Stability, awareness, self-respect, inner discipline, like a deep ocean, silent on the surface, but impossibly powerful underneath. And perhaps today more than ever, the world needs people like that. People capable of remaining calm under pressure. People who think before reacting. People who understand that peace is more valuable than ego. Because in the end, true emotional intelligence is not always about saying the perfect thing. Sometimes, it is knowing when to remain silent. If something you heard today resonated with you, there is more wisdom here every week. Walk this path with us. And remember, silence can become one of the greatest forms of power you will ever develop.